I've known Eddie for a long time, and you know, a super cool guy and so passionate about jiu-jitsu. And I talk to him once in a while, so I know his progression in jiu-jitsu. I know he's not just about the rubber guard and the twister, but some people who might not follow him so closely might see the products that he's released in, you know, a couple books, one on rubber guard, one on twister, and they might think that that's all he's about. But you train with him regularly.
Yeah, Eddie's man, he knows about everything. Like lately, what we've been really focusing on is defense. Something that Eddie's really strong on right now is defense. And I feel once you hit that, when you've done so much offense your whole life and just kind of like hit a certain level, it's like the final step and the last step you take is just mastering defense. And he's rubbing that off on me. It's like, you know, I'd rather be the guy not ever getting tapped out than the guy tapping everybody out. And, you know, not a lot of guys are like that. A lot of guys are like, I want to tap everybody out. I don't care if I get tapped out, but I could tap this guy out. It's like, I'd rather not ever get tapped out. I'd rather work on my defense. And Eddie's rubbing that off. You know, he's been really pushing that to his students, defense and legs, which is something that's new to the system, I guess, a lot. He always focused on defense stuff, but legs is something new that he's throwing in the system because Eddie's smart. He wants to follow the evolution. He wants to be part of it. He's going to not teach his legs. Now it's like, man, you go to HQ, you see the white belts doing game over and, you know, 411s or honey hole, just crazy stuff. And Eddie was never doing that when I started, but now he's doing it because he just keeps moving with everybody. Eddie's the kind of guy that doesn't think he knows it all. He's learning as he goes and he's applying it.
Yep, he's paying close attention to what Danaher's doing in New York. And, you know, at EBI 3, he set up one of the most amazing matches I've ever seen, Karan Darabedian versus Gary Tonin.
He was talking about that match before it even happened, you know, because he knew already. Like, he studies the jiu-jitsu game so much, he knows who's who and what's what.
Yep.
No one really knew about Karen, you know what I mean? But that guy is a beast. Like, he was there helping Eddie out for the, when Eddie had the Metamoris match, you know, and that's when I first met him. And we're all putting on Eddie, you know, like putting him through dead zone drills. And that was the first time I saw this guy, and I was like, man, this guy's impressive. And Eddie really pumped him up and gave him a chance on the big stage so everyone could see him. And now that's one of the best matches of the year, I believe.
Yeah, for sure. That's like East Coast leg locks versus West Coast.
Exactly.
You know, one of Gokor's best guys versus John Danaher's best guys. And if you guys haven't seen it, you got to watch it. It's free on YouTube, EBI 3.
Right.
I'm not going to spoil it, but man, what an incredible match. And if you watch closely, there's so much to learn.
Oh man, I could watch that match forever. I've been watching that match a lot. Eddie told me to focus on that match a lot, and I learned a lot, you know, just watching that match itself. Both those guys are throwing heat. You know what I mean? I'm like, ugh, the whole time I'm just like holding my leg. They're throwing heat.
Yeah.
But you know, that's what Eddie wants to see, and that's what he picks the right guys. You know, he knows who wants it, who's going to bring the heat.
Yep, and he knows what the public wants, and the public wants to see submissions, and
we're
definitely going to see a lot of that at EBI 4.
Oh, yeah.
But let's talk about ADCC for a moment. I know you probably don't want to think too much about 2 events ahead, but that's you know the biggest stage for no-gi grappling, and not everybody knows how you got there. Okay. Tell us the story of how you got invited.
Pretty much, I went to West Virginia, and somewhere in Virginia. I'm not sure which part of Virginia, but I ended up going to Virginia with my brother. Signed up like a normal dude, and I had 4 matches. I won all of them by submission, and you know, I mean, I just had to prove myself because I did it as a purple belt. I did the trials as a purple belt, and I lost in the semifinals to Darson, the guy who won the whole thing. And after that day, it just like gave me like a mission. I was like, I have to win ADCC, you know, trials. I have to. And I really, like, it's been for 2 years. It was just in my head. I was just thinking of that match over and over and over and over. And I got caught on a leg lock, and at the point I wasn't really training my legs. So I felt like that match gave me so much fire and so much, you know, so much fuel to just go hard. And when it came down to it, I just had to finish. I had a mission. It was like meant to be. I felt like it was my time, you know, my time to make that move. And what a coincidence it's going to be in Brazil, where Eddie ended up going and, you know, making history. So I'm honored that I get the chance to go represent the 10 Planet system.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be crazy. You know, when Eddie started 10th Planet, you probably weren't even training at that time, but I remember he was very outspoken about his new system and made a lot of claims about how he's going to take over the grappling world pretty much. And so there was a lot of pressure on him. And most of his early black belts were guys that trained elsewhere in the beginning, and none of them got gold medal at, you know, say the No-Gi World Championships. But you're one of the first guys that's really homegrown at 10th Planet. So now we're really going to see what 100% 10th Planet guy is all about. Do you feel like there's a lot of pressure on you to rep the system?
I feel there's there's pressure in me, but I feel like the pressure I put on myself. You know what I mean? Like Eddie and the crew, they don't really put pressure on me. It's just I put pressure on myself because I know what I can do. You know, I mean, I know this is the beginning of a lot of tournaments for me, and this is just the beginning of me going to that next level. But obviously, it's like I want to represent hard for the system because I know where the system is, you know, and I know where it started, and I know where Eddie wants to take it, and I just want to take it as far as I can because it's done so much for me, and I believe in it, and I want to prove that to the world. I feel pressure, but I'm gonna embrace the pressure. I like the pressure. I want to be that guy. I wanted to be this guy since I was a white belt. I told Eddie, like, I want to be that your top dude. I want to rep for you. I want to change the game, and like I said earlier, Eddie's been pushing me and kind of like motivating me to take it to that next level. And you know, I want to pay him back by, you know, showing the world what 10 Planet is all about. And I'm sure there's going to be there's so many good 10 Planet guys coming up right now that it's just the beginning. You know, there's so many new guys coming in. Like the system's like 10, 11 years old. It's not even, hasn't been around too long, you know what I mean? So we still have a lot to do, but I feel like these next couple of years, we're going to be making a lot more noise, and I don't mind being in the front, leading the way, you know. And if I'm not successful in these next couple tournaments, I'm gonna come back and keep trying to prove myself. You know, it's never ending for me. This is what I want to do the rest of my life. So there's a big opportunity, and I'm taking it serious. And I train really hard, and I feel really confident. So I want to go out there and prove myself and prove it to the rest of the world that 10 Planet System is not a joke. You know, we're here to stay, and we're not going nowhere.
For sure. I don't think there's any question that it's not a joke. But if you look at some of the top no-gi grapplers, generally they're guys that have trained in the gi for a long time. And you've probably heard this many times before, but some people will argue that training in the gi makes you better without the gi. And do you ever feel like, do you have any interest in training with the gi, or do you train at all in the gi now?
I never really trained in the gi. I mean, I had like a few rolls in the gi, like when I went to Cabrina's like a couple times and some other random places. I didn't feel like it was like too much of a difference. I was rolling with high level guys. I wasn't getting smashed. I was repping my game. But it just, I feel like the gi is like it's like judo and wrestling. It's like two different sports. You know what I mean? Like, maybe one day I'll really focus on the gi and compete in the gi. But for at this moment of my life, I just want to do no gi. It's just funner. You know, it just comes down to, it's like, what do I want to do? I want to do no gi. It's fun. Why do if I could prove myself through no-gi and take out really good guys and just keep moving forward, I feel like I'm moving forward, why stop? You know what I mean? Like I said, I don't have 10 years under my belt. In 10 years, we'll see where I'm at with just pure no-gi. You know what I mean? And maybe that'll change how people look at just guys that train no-gi. I don't really know what's better if you train no-gi or gi. Just for me, personally, I love no-gi. It's just funner. You know, and I do jiu-jitsu because it's fun. And I love it, so I'm gonna do what I love, and maybe one day I'll be like, the gi looks kind of fun, and I'll try it. You know what I mean? I'll go in there and roll with guys in the gi. I'm not scared to roll with guys in the gi. If I go to someone else's school, I'm gonna wear my black belt in the gi, because I'm a black belt in 10 Planet System, and you know what I mean? To get a black belt in 10 Planet System, it's like Eddie's not handing them out. You know what I mean? You gotta earn them. And he believes, and I believe my jiu-jitsu could go anywhere and rep. I'll roll with anybody. You know what I mean? And I'll show you that I'm a black belt. It's like, I don't want to just wear a belt and be like, I'm a black belt because I got it, or I'm not a black belt because you don't allow me to. It's like, just roll. What do you think I am? Like, you tell me. Let's just roll. Right. You know what I mean? Like, let your jiu-jitsu talk. You know, belts are labels in a way, you know, and dedication to your black belt. You know, you got to be loyal to a black belt. He needs to appreciate you, and he rewards you for your commitment and your dedication. And that's what he did. He rewarded me for, you know, going out there and only a small amount of years, I put in a lot of work, you know, day and night. He sees it, and, you know, I'm always coming down to HQ to train with Eddie, and I grind, you know, and it wasn't easy, but I earned it. You know what I mean? It's something that I earned and I'm proud of. And someone tells me, oh, you can't wear this at my gym. If it's your gym and you don't want me to wear it because it's just your gym, I'll respect the gym. But, you know what I mean? Doesn't mean I'm not a black belt. Just because I'm not wearing the belt, it's just a label.
Right.
You know what I mean?
On that note, and I'm not sure what my thoughts are on that. I've gone back and forth. Would it be okay for a wrestler to wear a black belt at a judo dojo?
Well, what if he's wearing a white belt and smashing all the black belts? What is worse?
Crushing egos.
You know what I mean? Like, what is worse? Like, right. Are you gonna tell a guy, wear a white belt at my dojo and he mops everybody up? It's like, how do you feel when this white belt is mopping all your black belts up? It's like your jiu-jitsu's talking. You know, the belt is just the belt. It's like if this guy is a black belt and he's smashing all the gi guys in judo, then man, this guy, someone give him his black belt. You know what I mean? Like it just, maybe that guy hasn't paid his dues with a guy in academy and whatever. He never got a master to promote him. Doesn't mean he's not a beast, and he trains and rolls like a black belt. You know what I mean? And
there certainly could be a case where maybe a 10th Planet black belt comes to a gi school, and he might not know the first thing about cross chokes or lapel guards, things like that. But by the same token, a gi guy could go to a 10th Planet school and not know anything about lockdown or even rubber guard or, you know.
I see black belts come in all the time, and they're just like, what is this, you know? They don't get it, because this is not your system. You know what I mean? Like, if I go study a gi system, I'm not going to know it all, but let me train a little bit and I'll pick it up. Like, it's not going to take me years to figure certain things out. I already know my grappling game, but every system has different tools you can learn. You're not going to know it all. And that's what's cool about being a black belt. Once you're a black belt, it's like you go out there and try to gain all the knowledge you can, you know, as a black belt. I don't just stay at 10 Planet schools. I go train everywhere. I like to travel and go to different schools and roll with different guys to get different ideas, different tools, you know, and that's ultimately what I want to do as a black belt. You know what I mean? I want to learn it all. Yeah, eventually I'll throw on a gi maybe just to learn it, as a jiu-jitsu dude. I'm interested in gi stuff because it's jiu-jitsu. I'll watch it still, you know what I mean? I'll go to events still, and you know, I have a gi at my house. Like, you know, people give me gis and I'll wear it once in a while when I go to sleep, but no, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not scared of the gi. I'm not scared to wear the gi, and when the moment comes, I'll wear the gi. But do I want to? Not really, not right now. I just want to do no gi. It's fun, and there's so much more to learn in no gi.
Yeah, and you got a lot on your plate right now. You're also going, actually, we're both going to Guatemala in September.
Yep.
How did that come about for you?
I just got an email, you know, a guy hit me up. He's like, hey, Giovanni, we've been watching your game. We like what you're doing. Would you like to go against Yao Miao? And I was like, yes. You know, right away, yes. I didn't even think about it. I'm like, see, I told him right away, yeah, I'm down. You know, easy as that. Just, you know, nowadays promoters are hitting you up online, can get a hold of you if they want to, you know, invite you to their event. And I guess my internet exposure and my tournaments that I've been doing, they saw something they liked, and they're giving me a chance to roll against one of the best in the world and go entertain them, and that's what I'm gonna go do. I'm excited. I've never been out there, and obviously it's a big match for me. You know, I'm taking that match very serious. Like I said, I love that guy's style, and I would love to take him out. You know what I mean?
And what's crazy is that you could potentially face him 3 times at EBI, at ADCC, and in Guatemala. When you watched, did you watch the 5 grappling tournament super fight with Gary Tonin versus Joao? Did you? Gary had some very innovative ways of attacking the legs during Joao's Berimbolo attempts. Did you learn anything from that match?
Yeah, a lot. I learned that don't go for his legs. You know what I mean? He's not gonna tap to leg locks, and that's something I already kind of knew. He wasn't gonna tap to legs. I just watching him compete and stuff. He's just not gonna tap to legs. He'll let him break. I don't even think he knows when his legs are in pain. Like, he just like, I don't know. Like, he doesn't care about that, you know? For me, as a submission only dude, to take a guy out like that is you have to choke him. You have to put him to sleep. Or you have to break something. You know what I mean? He's not gonna tap. He just doesn't want to tap. And in his mind, he already made up that he's not gonna tap, no matter what. So when a guy has that state of mind and he has super flimsy, flexible legs, it's like, it's almost impossible to attack the legs. But if you grab their neck and, you know, you get a nice squeeze in there, I mean, you can't breathe, you're gonna go to sleep. You know, and I knew that since a white belt. Sean Bollinger always made that. He didn't teach us leg locks. He never really wanted us to learn legs till we got more advanced. He always made sure we worked on chokes. And I feel like chokes is one of my strongest points, you know. I don't really get a lot of chokes, but I love chokes, you know, that's my thing. Like, I know that to beat those guys, you gotta put them out. Simple as that, you know what I mean? And he has crazy back takes. I gotta be careful. I've been studying a lot of, I love open guard and, you know, De La Riva, reverse De La Riva. So I've been watching a lot of his game, and I've been applying a lot of his game to my game as well. And I feel like when I play his game, I'm learning his game. You know what I mean? I'll study him and then do his stuff when I'm rolling with my students and stuff, just to kind of get inside of his head. Why is he doing this? Okay, what works against this when guys do certain things against me? So I've been really dissecting his game. You know, I'm a nerd when it comes down to footage. I said in breakdancing we study a lot of footage. of people we're gonna battle in. Jiu-jitsu would do the same thing. I'm constantly wake up, watch footage, go to sleep, watch footage. You know, it's what I like to do, and it's just an easy way to train mentally without physically doing anything. Just watching footage is training your mind and body, or not really your body, but it's training your mind.
Absolutely. Man, I can't wait to see you back in action this weekend at EBI 4 and at the end of the month at ADCC and in September at the Guatemala Open.
Oof.
Man, good luck out there. Anything else you want to say to people before we go? Or before we do the techniques?
I just want to say, you know, if anybody wants to come to 10 Planet Oceanside, check us out. You're more than welcome. Or come to 10 Planet San Diego, you're also more than welcome. We're really open to, you know, people from any schools to come and check us out. Big shout out to my master, Eddie Bravo. You know, thanks for pushing me to that next level. And, you know, 10 Planet Freaks don't sleep. Phalanx Army taking over.
So Gio, I know one of your favorite positions is the truck. How do you like to set it up?
There's many different ways of setting up the truck, but one of my favorite ways to set up the truck is when you're stacking a guy, he can either roll over or just stay inverted for a little bit, right? You can either go underneath him or roll him over and follow him into a truck. So first I'll show you just the basic stack. So we got double underhooks right here, gable grip, nice and tight. I wanna make sure my shoulder and everything's tight. I'm gonna sit back onto my heels and I'm gonna bring it on top of my knees right here, boom. I want his hips to be on top of my knees. That's how I know his hips are up. I'm gonna control nice and tight. Now what I wanna do, I wanna bring this right arm across his shoulder and I wanna control his hip right here with my left arm. I'm gonna post out my left knee and I'm gonna help with my left knee support his hips up. I want his hips up the whole time. That's my goal. I don't want his hips to drop to the mat. Once they drop to the mat, I don't have the option anymore. But if his hips are still up here, that's gonna allow me to shoot through my right leg underneath, boom, and just get that hook nice and easy. Come back. So we're here, boom. We're trying to stack. This guy has good inverted guard, he's hard to stack. So I'm just gonna use my left knee to control the hips and I'm gonna shoot through my right leg, boom. Now I'm gonna get one hook in, boom. Once you get one hook in, you're pretty much already in the truck. That's why I love the truck. You don't have to try to get two hooks. All you need is one hook. So this is my one hook. I'm gonna lock it up with the lockdown. I'm gonna go shin to shin, ankle to ankle, and I'm gonna stretch my lockdown. Now, I don't want this leg to be free because he could turn, right? If he turns, then I don't have that option anymore. So right away, I wanna make sure I control both legs. I'm gonna control the shin, I'm gonna control the toes. Boom. That's called the T-Rex control. Now, pretty much when you're controlling both of his hips, he can't really move, he can't really go anywhere. You have him in control here. What a lot of people do traditionally, they don't lock that leg up, they're here, exactly. But once you lock that leg up, now I have your hips, see I can move you around, boom. Now, to make this control a little bit tighter, there's this control called the Kui control. And what we do, we use this hand controlling the toes. I pull it behind my head, and I'm gonna bring this elbow in, and I'm just gonna circle around. Feel that, Jake?
Yeah, it's a good stretch.
Yeah, nice stretch. I can finish here just by pushing on the heel. Boom. Right? Check its flexibility. But my favorite move from here is obviously the calf slicer. Once I bring my knees towards my chest, I'm gonna bring that leg towards me. I'm gonna grab the toes, and I'm gonna give it the gas, and I'm gonna extend my hips out. Boom. Also from here, we got different options. I could try to go for a crotch ripper. You S grip around the knee, get nice and tight, elbows tight, and then you extend your hips up. Boom. A lot of times what the guys are gonna do, they're gonna try to defend and control the arm. And that's perfect setup for the twister. So we go to this baseball grip control. One thing that Eddie always talks about is you gotta have a solid baseball grip control, right? I can just sit here and wait in the baseball grip control. I'm not in a hurry. As long as I control this arm and the guy's legs locked in, he ain't going nowhere. I don't have to control this leg no more if I have his arm. So now what I wanna do, I'm gonna go to the next step and I'm gonna bring that arm behind my head. And I'm gonna get my head through that hole. And I'm gonna get nice and tight, boom. Now this is the second control, I gotta wait a little bit, I gotta relax. I don't have to rush anything. Now I got different options to grab his head. A lot of times he's gonna stop me with that far arm, boom. That happens a lot of times, you can't grab his head. So a good thing, a good movement to do is we're gonna start scoot over a little bit to your right. Once over here, I'm gonna use my lockdown. That's why it's good to have the lockdown. now I can whip his body towards my left. See how his head's coming off the ground? He thinks he's free, and I just go back, S grip around the crown of the head, and just extend your hips in. Boom, twister.
Sweet. This is a really good setup. I remember seeing it first. Justin Rader did it on Samuel Braga, because Braga's guard was so hard to pass. He's known for almost having an impassable guard. So here, you don't have to pass.
You don't.
You just fall right into it.
It's just like putting the guy in a bad situation off a pass attempt. You know what I mean? If you can't pass, there's a lot of guys with crazy guards. You gotta try to figure a way to put him into check right without passing his guard. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to put you in a bad situation right off the bat. So, you know, there's two options there. You try to stack the guy sometimes. He won't allow you to go underneath him. Sometimes he might just roll right away. You're here, you're trying to stack, he rolls right away. All I gotta do is follow him, stab that knee inside, step over. Now I got that control on the leg. I like to control the shin. I can either roll over or just sit back. And look at my whip leg. Boom, back in the truck. So those two combos I love because you're trying to stack the guy, right? Once you get your double underhooks, you're trying to stack him. Either the guy's gonna stay inverted, you go underneath him. Or if you do stack him, he ends up rolling over, you follow him all the way, you stab that knee inside, grab the shin, pull him back, you're in the truck.
Yeah, very good submission position. And it's almost like a crucifix position in that under IBJJF rules, there's no points for the truck or the crucifix, but there's tons of submission opportunities there. But since it's not a point scoring position, a lot of guys just ignore it. Eddie was the first guy that really, well, he made the name the truck and really popularized it.
Right. I mean, I like that move. Like you said, I might not be getting the points all the time, but I'm close to the submission. Eddie tells it the best. He told me this before. I was like, well, do you like going to the back and just finishing the back? He's like, yeah, I do, but what happens when you can't finish the rear naked choke? Do you give up the back, or do you stay there all day? Do you go to arm bar? What do you do? Some guys like to go to arm bars. You can go back into the truck. Or before you go into the back, why don't you stop in the truck a little bit and just see what you got there? Play around a little bit. See what the guy got. You know, he might have good defense. He might not know nothing from there, right? If he has good defense, I can always go back to the back. There's options from there, you know, and that's what Eddie's game is about. And I feel he rubbed that off on us a lot, is being able to have options. And the truck gives you a lot of options.
Cool. Gio, thank you so much for sharing today.
Thank you.
If people want to catch you online, where can they find you?
Just find me on Facebook, Giovanni Martinez, or Giovanni Freakazoid Martinez. Instagram me too, Freakazoid TFS. Just look me up online, you'll find me.
Cool. EBI, ADCC, Guatemala.
Be there.
Tear it up.
Oos.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the interview and techniques by Geo Martinez. It's definitely going to be fun to see him in action this weekend at EBI 4, at the end of the month at ADCC, and next month in Guatemala. So if you like the show, please leave a comment, like it, subscribe to the channel. Also, just a reminder, my other channel, Budo Jake on YouTube, I'll be posting a little more casual conversations there, probably on a weekly basis. Let me know if you like it. If you don't, I'm not going to waste my time doing it, but hopefully I'll post some things that you might find interesting. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and see you next time on This Week in BJJ.